When?
Right now.
Oh, okay. So I guess we're live now.
Yep. New Hump Day News Dump. And I believe this is number 15.
We've done 15 of these, really.
Yep.
Jeeps. Okay.
We're on Get Good TV. We are on Stream.me. We are on Twitch. We are on our YouTube channel.
Get Good will take a few moments to propagate because buffering. There we go.
Yep.
I'll share it.
And I'm sure all my connections are going to drop down to nothing in a second. That's the only problem I have about this YouTube UI is like I want to go watch our YouTube channel live, but I can't do that from their links. I actually have to open a new freaking tab.
Oh.
Because I just want to link our channel.
Right. Well, everyone wants everything at all times or something.
Can you, are we, which room are we in? Let's go over to the vodcast room.
Okay. This is the vodcast room.
All right. I'm in the vodcast room. All right, cool. Since we're actually vodcasting now, I think that makes it make more sense.
Yeah.
So, as subscriber, nope, that's not what I want to do right now. Oh, cute. Live. That's the URL I want. All right. And we're going to make a tweet.
Tweet.
Yep. If I was smart enough, I don't have to cut and paste this much if
we had like webhooks, we could like trigger it all at once.
We're getting there.
Yeah, we'll get there eventually.
The bridge is a bit more dialed in today for the chat, so we can actually be on all services and actually hopefully field the actual people responding to us and talk to us better. So, baby steps. Every week we'll get a little better. Gonna pause all these live stream services to make sure it doesn't kill all my bandwidth.
Yeah, because you're kind of breaking up there for a little bit, but
yeah.
Okay,
cool. Want everyone to have a good experience, and yeah, I can already see at least the audio goes through pretty good, and that's what's important on these. The video is just kind of superfluous until we get all our until we get our internet streams dialed in, so we can have good, clear, crystal clear broadcasts. All right, gonna let everyone on the Sapphire Discord know.
Get on Get Good TV or something.
Oh, look at that! It bridged the wrong. Oh no, because I post. No, that's not supposed to happen.
Oh no, we're gonna have an infinite loop now.
Yeah, it's reading the wrong room or something.
Uh-oh.
That's gonna be annoying.
Yeah.
Oh well, we'll get started here in just a second. I am just finishing the last announcement. And we've only wasted, what, 4 minutes?
4 minutes, not that much.
And I know that I'm sure you and I haven't really prepared any articles for this.
I thought you were going to do that.
Yeah, right. So...
I'll just go into the place that has all the articles and read that.
Hey, it's Silent Marco. Hey, Silent Marco.
Is that on Twitch or something?
It says Tavern. Or maybe it's Get Good.
I don't know. It's hard.
If we only knew.
If only.
Yes.
Let's see.
Yeah. Eventually, well, like I said, we'll get this dialed in. All right. Blast it out over to more Sapphire people. All right.
Okay, cool.
One more time. I'm gonna ping Kaom. It's now.
Is he awake?
Yeah. He said he was just finishing dinner and stuff. So let's go to the news and reads room and see what we got here. So Australia's got horrible new encryption laws.
Well, not really encryption laws as much as like let's try to force people to circumvent encryption laws or laws of that nature or something. So, like the general too long didn't read edition of it is that in Australia now the government can force you to insert a software backdoor that doesn't introduce a systemic weakness but sends all the plain text to some server somewhere, as if that makes any sense.
Yeah, it can be targeted, but it can't weaken the security of the system.
But like that's just syntactically inconsistent. Like the point of encryption is that it works or it doesn't work. Like like their intention is to like insert only for certain people a backdoor, but the logistics for that is just not possible when you have things like anonymous internet connectivity. That ain't happening. So
Well, there's a bug with the Tavern Bridge is it feeds back into the Discord room.
oh, that's not good.
I think that's my own fault for bridging. Did I bridge? No. Okay, that's my. I gotta figure that one
I
out.
fixed it.
Oh, there he is.
I couldn't hear anybody because my headphones were muted.
Oh, your headphones are not muted anymore.
No.
We're good to go.
I had, for some reason, like when I switched to fucking mic, when I switched to my headphones, it immediately just cut off all my audio on my system because of how like my audio manager on Linux handles.
Yeah,
devices.
that's audio on Linux sucks. It sucks really bad.
Yeah, I think
I didn't realize.
How bad it sucked?
No, I didn't realize that it would do that because I was like going around. Because like I expected on Windows when you plug in a device, but unless you plug it in, or unless you plug it out and plug it back in again, it doesn't realize. But if you switch to a device on Windows, it doesn't like recover the last setting that you had it on. The last setting I had it on when I had my headphones on was muted.
Ah,
yeah.
See.
Yeah, I think this is the first podcast we've had that since we started restreaming. We've had no audio issues so far. I think I actually got that under control.
That is amazing.
Never.
At least I feel like we're making progress here.
Never say never. Or something.
Good seeing Monty back and he's watching us on YouTube.
That's something I don't know, whatever.
Yes, so Australia is going through that whole thing, and it's interesting to read everyone's take on it. But I'm sure we're going to hear more and more articles about that. I guess.
Yeah, no, it's. I'm kind of wondering how who is on the Discord that's an Aussie developer. I imagine he's not going to handle this too well because like,
Elliot.
From what I gather, it's essentially like this applies to not only Australian companies, not only Australians working in Australian companies, but Australians working in other companies and for other countries, like say contract work.
Yeah, well, I know that this law is already there's a slightly different, but it's been already passed in the UK, and I'm sure Canada, and they're going to try to get those Five Eyes countries to adopt it or something similar.
That's not happy face there. Yeah, that's really bad.
It'll be a tough sell here in the States, especially with like the.
Just think of the children. There we go. Now it's passed.
It's going to be a big sell for any country because you're essentially giving the Australian government the right to spy on your country and private companies, which like the last time that I mean sovereign entities don't tend to take well to other countries trying to sort of muscle in on their territory and steal information from their citizens.
Yeah.
Well,
I mean, only China, honestly. Anyone else?
Only China,
and Russia.
Yeah, but nobody else makes such great phones.
I was also going to say, I know that Google was in Congress this week. They're one of the biggest lobbyists, and I think the radio was saying that they're pushing back against any type of GDPR that's going to try to happen here in the United States because obviously they don't want to be handcuffed on their data collection.
Right.
Yeah, it's their type.
So
yeah, unironically, literally, is their entire business model is to make a predictive AI to sell you ads that requires massive amounts of tracking and metadata. It's like that's literally all they do.
I mean, like the big thing is that they could make an argument that they need that data because GDPR does not restrict the data that you collect, provided that it's relevant to providing your service. If their service is advertising, they can make that argument. But I think they're afraid of having to make that argument. They don't want essentially new regulation. I mean, no company wants extra regulation on top of what they already have.
Right.
If anything, they want less regulation. But
So,
yeah,
so you're saying the solution is to have an anarcho-capitalist society that, you know, everyone can spy on everyone, and like then if you do something bad, you can use your make nuke on them.
yeah, I'm saying that a
Okay.
polite society is a society where everybody has nuclear weapons. I mean, just look at what is going for the Fallout community.
Right. Yeah, it's just conditioning us to get ready for that. You know, that's all those Fallout games. That's to teach the little kids to get ready for that. You know,
It's New World Order shit.
or something.
Yeah, no, Google's been in the news quite a bit this week, haven't they? There's been a lot of stuff that's happening where they just kind of, I think they kind of like hit their quota on how much shit they can be in the news for in 1 week, and just sort of like started trying to avoid as much controversy as possible, like the DuckDuckGo situation.
What's with that? What happened there?
Mike posted about it earlier. So DuckDuckGo went to a rant recently where they were talking about Google's anti-competitive behavior, I think related to how they've been in Congress all week. And they also mentioned that Google own Duck.com, D-U-C-K, which actually redirects to Google, or it did. After this got a bit of traction, Google just transferred the rights of the domain to DuckDuckGo, the company that owns them, and just said, here, have it. We don't care.
That's cool.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, like, it shouldn't have been a thing in the first place. It's just like, it's like being robbed, and like you walk in the robber, and the robber like just puts the stuff back. It doesn't undo the bad stuff.
Yeah, I mean, they, to be fair, they own the domain, so they've like bought the domain a long time ago, I think, as from what I can tell. They have been holding on to it, I think, for the fact that they wanted to use it, of course, they wanted to use it against their competition. This is understandable. It makes sense why they'd want to do that.
Yeah, just
really
like it makes sense that, you know, people that have really extreme views want to do really extreme things. It doesn't make it okay. So
no, I'm saying that they bought the domain a long time ago. So
right.
It was they.
Yeah,
They
just like Osama bin Laden, you know, started stockpiling weapons long time ago. You know,
yeah.
It's like it's a moot point. The net effect is just
the
not...
owning Duck.com is like stockpiling weapons. Is it?
It's like as bad as 9/11, man.
Yeah,
it hurts their runway. It was hurting them up to this point. At least it stopped hurting them. They've stopped the bleeding. But you can make an argument saying that DuckDuckGo could have been much larger today if they had access to Duck.com several years ago, right? Is that what you're trying to say, Jeff?
Oh yeah. Jeff?
What?
Was that what you were trying to
say? Sure, why not?
But yeah, probably. But I mean, I would argue that, you know, domain parking is the same for anybody. If like someone has a domain that you want, you can make an offer to them, and if they don't want to sell, they're not going to sell. It's just how it is. I don't think that Google originally bought Duck.com with the intentions of trying to screw them over. I think it unlikely that they saw this far ahead. They thought that DuckDuckGo would ever become a serious competitor to them.
Right.
I think it was just serendipitous that they already had it, so they thought, all right, well, let's redirect.
They just happened to have bought Duck.com, and
Google
a domain that's very close to their competitor. You know, it's like if Apple bought MS.com for, you know, Microsoft.com, but not Microsoft.
I thought you were talking about muscular sclerosis or multiple sclerosis. That's the word. Or,
I don't. Whatever. Sure, why not? It's the same kind of thing. It's used by cripples. So.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's see. What's some news that is useful and interesting?
Let's see. It's still my buffer. All right. There is a new open source, no pattern encumbered codec called AV1. And they
there's AV1 is out now.
Yeah, they just released the decoder for it because I think they only had the encoder before, so that was cool to see some progress on that. That's hopefully going to make everyone's lives a little easier to have a nice high quality codec out there in the wild.
Wasn't AV1 like completely, totally gimped and not optimized when they initially released?
Yeah, and even this code isn't optimized. It's just a reference implementation, so people can
Oh man,
actually figure out how to do this.
man, they
not take
gotta
it apart.
start like making it better and like faster, and
Well,
start putting like elbow grease into the implementation instead of just saying fuck it. It's just
well, I think the whole announcement is like, okay, now we're ready for the public to tear this apart and start improving it. We got the basics down, and it's ready for that type of exposure.
I don't know.
So what's wrong with WebM versus this?
WebM is a combination of fucking Og Vorbis and Dirac, I think it is.
It's not open. It's a VP, which is a company that Google bought. It was like On Technologies or something like that.
WebM is like the what's a good comparison?
And
it's like the TIFF of video formats. It's just bad.
I think WebM's tied to VP8 and VP9's been out for a while.
Yeah.
I don't know if you can do a VP9.
They have VP9 Opus, but like it's still horrible.
Yeah,
like and slow to encode.
VP's the video side, where Opus is the audio side, right?
Opus is great.
Yeah, there is a video format tied to Opus in that whole library. I forget what it's called.
Yeah, isn't that the? Oh no, no, it's not that. It's Well, there was actually no. This is an image format based off of HVAC. Never mind.
Yeah, and what's cool about HVAC, it has the potential of being 20% better than HVAC, which is H.265, I believe.
Oh my god, that sounds awesome.
Yeah, it has
the question is like decode time.
Yeah, and that's...
And HVAC has hardware support, and this doesn't, so...
Yes, exactly. This is just starting to turn the corner, but for us video nerds that run live streaming services, this can be very exciting, because this could mean higher
if we can offload it
with less bandwidth.
Yeah. Right.
So it's good to see that it's not only competitive with HVAC, but it can be better quality. So it's like a step forward too.
Well, we'll see. We'll see.
All right. Pedos grooming YouTube live. I don't know if we really want to go too far.
No, let's skip that one. That's just nasty as shit. Because like that happens like everywhere anyways, and it's just like this is why you don't put kids on the internet kind of thing. Just don't have kids on the internet.
Since Mike's
ever.
Just don't have kids.
Or just don't have kids on the internet. Have it just be 18 up assumed. Then we don't have to worry about all the freaking child groomers because there aren't children on the internet, nor should there be.
Well, you can always just lie about your age on the internet.
Yeah, I know.
Really?
It's just like it just who knew?
That's what
right?
I did for like 6-7 fucking years.
Yeah, you were like 40 for like 6 years.
And then
I suddenly dropped to the age of 21.
Yeah, there we go. That does it.
I think that's like all teenagers on the internet. We've been 18 for 6 years now.
Yeah, that's living the dream there.
All right. So the next article I posted was Uber joins Lyft in race to tap investors. So Lyft filed for an IPO, and I think didn't Uber do the same?
They should start like Uber coin or Lyft coin.
Yeah, right.
So they have an ICO that goes along with it too.
I'm sure there is a was it the sharing economy? I'm sure there's a coin based around the sharing economy.
Who knows?
This platform will enable you the sharing economy. I'm sure it exists and it's out there.
Why don't they have like jacket share?
I don't know. Why don't they?
Like well, not used clothing, but like like jackets and stuff like that. Like things that don't need to be washed all the time, but you can share. like a hat or jacket or gloves.
Because there's a large percentage of the population that's like, or basically germphobes or super sensitive to that stuff.
Then why do you go into strangers' cars? It's like let's go on the internet and phone up a stranger and get in their car. That's like everything you don't do from the 90s.
Like half the audience is never going to get Uber again because they didn't realize how much fecal matter is on the Uber seats.
Or cum.
Right. Or like other nasty shit.
Here's a bit of advice. Next time you're in an Uber, bring a black light with you and just like hovered over
Blacklight
the
it.
yeah, hovered
Everything.
over the seats and just like see how many stains there are in this.
Yes, and you'll never want to drive.
And try not to make a new one with vomit. So
there you go.
Yeah, no, like I remember during when I was growing up, there was like a bunch of I said, well, like they're all those stranger danger ads, right?
mm.
You know, don't get into a stranger's car, don't do this shit. Now
Don't
you
talk
have,
to
say, like
strangers on the internet.
14-year-olds, yeah, 14-year-olds, 15-year-olds getting into fucking Ubers with people that they've never. It's this. I mean, it's the same concept as a taxi. It's about as trustworthy as a taxi, but it's. I guess it's just the way that society changes. We've become more accepting of certain things. Than
No, it's just normalized, and it's still horrible and bad. It's just normalized. Doesn't change the goodness of it. It's just normalized at this point. The world's getting worse. Yay!
Well, next one I had was Linux.org. That was something you posted, Jeff.
Oh,
I know about this. Yeah, this is the
dude that bought that domain and put a thing on it.
Yeah, it was like a goat SC for those that were curious earlier. Right now,
well, not really that much.
I didn't get to see it because I was at work at the time and I didn't want to open the link. But
yeah, you can
probably
value researching Linux, and that'd be good enough.
I should have took a screenshot. Now it's a forum dedicated to Linux discussion.
Yeah, that's what it was before.
Okay. Oh, okay. I didn't realize that.
What happened was that the guy who ran Linux.org, what is it, com? I don't remember. One of those top level domains, Linux. Whatever. He forgot to renew his domain, and it was in like a transition period. Someone just bought it and redirected the DNS to like a server somewhere that had like some text and docs on it.
He's also something about Terry in there, Terry Davis.
Something like that, yeah.
It was like rest in peace, something along those lines.
And like how Linux got blown the fuck out. Oh my god, or something.
Well, it's because Linux uses paging memory. Temple OS is the superior operating system because it just has single address memory.
It's all ring zero and no networking at all.
You don't need safety. You don't need
safety because it's a single user OS.
When God's your co-pilot.
Right.
Yep.
Don't need to worry.
Do as the Romans did.
Don't need to worry about Satan getting in your computer from that network. Well, it didn't have network.
Just don't connect to the internet. It'll be fine.
Yeah, exactly.
You can still get in there if you try to peg one of the I/O ports.
But you have to get physical access. So
I've given my PC plenty of physical access.
Hmm.
Well, does anyone have any other news? I think that's as far back as the last week of new articles that were posted in Discord.
Yeah, I wanted to find some stuff to talk about, but I've just been too busy this evening. As soon as I got home late, and then I had to immediately start exercising, and then I had to go to the shop to get food, and then I had to make food, then I had to wash dishes, and now we're here.
I don't want to hear excuses. I want to hear keyboards clicking and mouses typing.
Oh, I have a story.
You're right. While I was told.
Like apparently Sargon of Akkad got kicked off of Patreon.
Yeah, I saw that during Christmas time.
And that was like because he was talking to the alt-right people and used their language against them, and it's like it's so petty.
Yeah.
And like it's just like far worse things have been done on the quote unquote other side, and they just turn a blind eye. And it's just you can't trust Patreon at this point anymore because, well, you couldn't have trusted them before anyways because they're obviously ideologically driven. They just were kind of quiet about it, but now that's out in the open. Everyone's just just dropping their stuff. And
yeah, ultimately it hurts their service. And we don't really know if it's Patreon or Visa, or their bank or someone higher up because payment processing field is just full of that stuff.
Yeah, payment processing is hard. Yeah, he's cutting out.
Yeah.
Sorry. There's just not much I can do about that.
Yeah, no, there's payment processor Stripe, I think it is, keeps putting pressure on Patreon.
Right. Because people keep on putting pressure on Stripe. So
Yeah. And that'll be funny when Stripe turns off Patreon.
nah.
That'll be a
Yeah.
huge cry of independent creators.
Monty in chat said the time is ripe for decentralized open source crypto-based crowdfunding platform.
No, don't speak about that. That's not happening right now.
But
why not?
I would
It
say
just it's not in the works right now. Don't talk about it. That's not my secret project. Shit.
All right. I'm just going to give my 2 cents on that idea, in that I think it's redundant because you can't pay what the kind of things that you need to pay with CryptoNet right now. You can't pay for most utilities. You can't.
Right.
You can sure pay for some online stuff, but the market isn't big enough to where that would be a viable currency to use.
Unless you like grow the market. So.
Yeah, but I'm talking about utility companies. They are slow to embrace any kind of change.
And you can't pay your freaking rent in Bitcoin in most places yet.
Well, and it's,
not unless you live in San Francisco.
Well, if you live in San Francisco, you have other problems, man. Like you live in freaking shit capital of the United States. So
that was
let's
loud.
see.
Oh, I just had someone message me on some platform I have open, so I got to figure out which window that is.
It made a beep, and you need to find out where the beep came from.
Yep. But I was gonna say, oh, there we go. New audio, don't switch. I was gonna say something. I completely lost my train of thought. I was gonna say, yeah, Sapphire. We were looking at Bitcoin, but the price is so volatile. It's hard to say our price is X when it changes almost second to second.
And people can game it because it's so volatile.
And I know Coinbase has a coin now that's matched the dollar, so at least you can keep it.
Oh, that's an Ethereum token, I think.
Interesting.
Wait. So the crypto is backed by the dollar. What's the dollar? And the dollar is backed by nothing.
It's an Ethereum token whose value is always $1. I don't know. Right.
It's backed by.
It just sounds pointless.
Yeah, it's actually backed by US dollar, and they have I think
which is backed by nothing.
Well,
right. It's backed by the Marines or something,
which might be nothing. It's supposed to be Fort Knox.
Marine Corps strong.
Yeah.
Space
Marines, actually.
Yeah, it's Space Force. It's backed by Space Force.
Yeah, it is. Oh God, I love the fact that that's the thing. it just makes my life happy when I think about that. It's like we have the Space Marines now. That's awesome. Yeah, but it's not called the Space Marines yet. It's not called the Space Marines because we can't do that because the United States would get sued. So it's called Space Force. But it's really just the Space Marines.
Listen, once we develop the Space Empire, I imagine that we'll soon have the Space Marines or the Space
Corps.
Centurions. Yeah, Space Corps.
I like Space Corps better than Space Force.
Space Corps sounds like a type of music that you'd make.
No. I don't make Space Corps, no.
No, just Nightcore. There is what other things have been happening recently with YouTubers. There's been that PewDie guy, the new hit piece.
That thing, and also some dude got banned because reasons he's edgy boy.
Oh yeah, Monkey Jones got banned.
I have no idea who that is because I don't watch edgy boy TV.
Yeah, I will go into the PewDie guy thing first since he's more notable. He's probably gonna get our viewers up. So basically, as I understand it from what I saw in the video, he was playing this VR game on a stream in which some guy came up to him called, I think 247 was his username, and he started describing how much of an inspiration PewDiePie is to him, and just like started going off on this rant about how great he is. Also, I'm getting feedback from somebody.
It's me.
I think it's Jeff. Yeah.
Yeah, because I have like a open mic and headphones that have really.
I see. All right. Yeah. It was this guy 247 who was like going on about like how much he loves PewDiePie and he's a huge fan, and then this guy called Rabbi Shekel just comes up behind him and just shoots him in the head, and just like PewDiePie like bursts out laughing. He finds it hilarious that this guy just got shot mid-conversation while he was having such a sincere moment in this VR game. And then, so what does Joe Bernstein, Blockhead Joe, do?
He's a
He
journalist,
takes,
to be clear. He writes an article, right?
yes, he's a journalist for the not Wall Street, the BuzzFeed Journal. Yeah. He has been involved in a few attempts at bringing down people that he deems to be neo-Nazis.
Less better than him.
Yeah, this one he really got shit canned for. The amount of shit that, like, Jesus, he got ratioed to fuck in the responses. Like, there were thousands of people like mocking him for what he said. But basically, he took a screenshot of that video with the Rabbi Shekel, Rabbi Shekel something,
right,
from the video, with PewDiePie laughing, and just said that it was a mischaracterization where they said that PewDiePie was laughing at the username Rabbi Shekel.
Really?
As if to like imply that he's sympathizing with this Nazi, this neo-Nazi, who's
so
definitely a neo-Nazi, and not some
dumb.
guy that's using a fucking edgy name on the internet.
That's dumb.
Yeah, and he got bullied for it hard in the Twitter responses after he posted the article. Like, there were people, like thousands of responses, just like going, "Jesus Christ, are you really this much of an idiot? Why are you such a disingenuous cunt?" That sort of stuff.
Right.
And a lot of people just quoting Sam Hyde with "You will never work at where was it?
Wall Street Journal.
Was it the New York Times? You will never work at the New York Times." Just people quoting that fucking speech from Sam Hyde.
Oh,
it was great.
Okay, let's see. I have a highlight in an obscure IRC channel. Oh,
that happens. All right, I will go with Linux kernel developers discuss dropping x32 support. What's x32 support?
Oh, that's gonna suck.
That is when you have a 64-bit CPU, but you want your program to not waste memory on memory pointers, so you tell it to use 32-bit memory pointers. It sounds like that's my understanding.
Oh, not like i686.
No, it's not.
Okay.
It's 32-bit. Like mode for 64-bit. So you can write a 64-bit binary that has shorter pointers.
Right. So they're gonna break userland, basically. I thought they don't do that.
Well, I guess there's just not enough software utilizing it.
Well, no, it's not going to break userland. I don't.
No,
think
this
so
is
anyway,
breaking userland.
It's just going to make the pointers larger, unless there's some kind of like unless the software relies on the pointers being exactly 32 bits. It's going to cause issues, but otherwise, I don't think it is. But I don't see what kind of software you've designed that requires that kind of knowledge.
If you have a statically compiled binary, that breaks userland. So that's not good. And their promise to everyone is to just never do that, and they just did that. What the fuck?
Well, they haven't done it. They're talking about it.
Right, they're talking about breaking userland, which they don't do. They never do that.
Yeah.
They literally haven't done that since like 90 something. Like, this is something they just don't do. And they shouldn't do for good reasons. You just don't break userland.
Let's see here. If they're in favor of sunsetting, and many upstream contributors favor seeing it deprecated and removed. However, there are still some users of the support, though no known enterprise users. See, that's the stupid part. Like,
that's the part that really pisses me off.
Right? Who cares about enterprise except for everyone getting paid from enterprise? So who cares about consumers? Well, there's no money to be made on consumers, so we shouldn't care about them.
You can't make money off of Linux. Come on, man. I mean, like, who cares if you use it because it's free and open source? It's all about the paid support, isn't it?
Mike posted a good video about like why Linux sucks or something along those lines, and he the guy was doing that presentation every year.
Oh yeah, Lunduk thing. He doesn't do that anymore, does he?
Yeah, he did a final recap. Does. And his point
he keeps saying it's the final one, but he keeps making them because it draws more views on YouTube.
It's like, trust me, it's really the last time this time. Yeah.
But his point was pretty much like the Linux Foundation is pretty much, all enterprise, all the seats have been sold. It's all in the hands of people you'd never want Linux in the hands of.
Right.
And all the neck beards are gone. Where are the neck beards?
Right.
It's
Where are
all
the
just-
Unix neckbeards? They're just not there anymore.
Yep.
They've moved to FreeBSD or NetBSD. Or something.
We've shaved the neck beards. We've gave them a wash. We've given them new clothes. They look like normal people now. You never know.
No, we need the neckbeards
Yes.
because they make the drivers good and stuff.
They said they're going to drop X32 ABI due to the maintenance costs involved in supporting this code with minimal users.
Mm.
I mean, I guess that's the problem is like if you're doing it by percentage and then you have a huge server component, they're going to be a majority of your users and your desktop users are going to get screwed.
Right.
Yes, I don't think that's a good way to do it, but I mean, I don't think I can suggest a better one off the top of my head. Maybe some type of segmentation. Maybe the Linux kernel is going to have to split into a Linux server and a Linux workstation. And that's
or GNU/Linux.
I mean, the one thing that Linux isn't like is fragmenting its
Userland?
operating system. Userland, that's the word I was looking for.
Yeah.
It's monolithic by nature, so they like to have everything in like one item. You don't agree with that?
What? Like that the Linux userland is monolithic?
In that the Linux kernel is monolithic, yeah.
Oh, the Linux kernel is very monolithic, and yeah, that's a thing because it's a monolithic kernel. And you can't fork it at this point because it's so monolithic.
And why we have the horsepower today to probably go to a more microkernel. Do we really want that overhead at this, at that level?
No, I don't think microkernels are like a thing that should be made anymore because the context switches are just not worth it. Like you want to have those beefy cache lines filled. You don't want to have to constantly be doing IPC and switching context and all that shit. That's way too much overhead in doing that with not enough gain. So it's just not worth it. It's theoretically it sounds great, but in practice when you try to implement it, it's just from what I've seen, it's just a horrible nightmare. Like with Mock and what was it? Mock NetBSD? Well, it wasn't NetBSD. It was just BSD at that time. Mock BSD and Next, and then it turned into Mac OS, and that they still have nightmares when it comes to like just the micro. Like they took a microkernel and turned it into a monolithic kernel, and they call it a hybrid kernel, and it only works because of the monolithic nature of it.
Yeah, it's like
Anyways.
Windows NT. What I know is they try to make it all micro. Geez, what's the term? I completely forgot it.
Microkernel or
yeah, sure.
all running in kernel mode.
Yeah, they try to do that. I want to call it microservices.
Yeah, and then they tried to do they tried to do everything on the user layer, everything else. So
Right.
like is it Linux? Linux is font rendering on the user layer, right? It doesn't do it in the kernel. I know
That's
that
Windows that does that.
Yeah, Windows does it in the kernel. Yeah.
Yeah, Windows had to move their display drivers into the kernel to get decent display speed, and they had to go back to monolithic just to get that done to make it usable.
Yeah, and I think that's just the reality of performance is that you're going to go monolithic, or you're going to have performance issues.
I do think though that the Linux kernel is getting too big. I think there's a lot of stuff in there that could just be made as like an extension.
Well, that's what they do by default, anyways.
Well, there's tons of modules.
Right, and it's all about driver support, and like you want it to work on like with Ubuntu. The reason why it's so quote unquote bloated is because it works everywhere without configuration needed. It's all there. So if you want like the minimalism meme,
I'm talking about the esoteric file system drivers that are built into the kernel itself. So like what's the more recent one? There was another one. Was it? No, not BTR.
ButterFS is just it's horrible.
I believe they're integrating that into the kernel now, or they have done, or.
ButterFS needs to die. Just implement ZFS and in GPL licensed code and get over it. Come on.
my only problem with BTRFS is a CPU usage. As soon as the box actually gets some like actual server load type stuff, man, that CPU usage just went through the roof. ZFS
I
is
was
much
reading
better.
what was it? There was an article I was reading recently by some guys called I don't know how to pronounce their name, Weka IO or something like that. They develop what they call the world's fastest file system.
This
and
is
it's just
RAM. Is this what?
the world's fastest file system. Let me see.
I'm sure it's just like fixed record sizes. Wastes lots of disk space. Parallel file system products. All right, so it's not parallel file system, not PFS or the other ones.
It's, let's see, it's proprietary. Oh, yay. Isn't it?
Someone was trying to
Yay.
educate me on Ceph for distributed storage, but I don't know. It looks okay. I just don't like having to run 3 nodes to get the bare minimum up.
This looks like a file system that's like meant to be run on SAN or something.
Well, parallel usually means it's across one more than one machines.
Right.
Integrated tiering to any S3, Swift, or Ceph.
Oh yeah, this is gimmick. Never mind. No, screw that.
This is a product. This isn't like open source or like that anyone can use. I don't think.
Oh yeah, no, not at all. It's not open source. Definitely not.
Yes.
I was just talking about it because I thought it was relevant.
Talking about because what your chats are.
I thought it was relevant.
Oh, well, we got another 15 minutes to kill. Here's a new product. Grafana has a new product called Loki.
Any relation to the other Loki?
None at all.
Let's see. Oh, it's some Docker thing.
This is supposed to be like Prometheus, which is I think a collector, if I remember correctly. Makes it super.
This is like Logstash analyzer.
Oh,
right?
that reminds me. Speaking of GitHub stuff, NASA have released a static analyzer for C++ that uses shit. What was the mathematical thing? No, it uses some really advanced form of math to figure out if you're going to have issues with your code. Basically, it's like a Valgrind but on steroids.
Okay, what is this called? I need it now.
1 sec.
It's on NASA's GitHub, right?
Yeah, NASA's software verification GitHub. It's called
Icarus? No.
ICOS. IKOS.
ICOS. IKOS. IKOS. Is this an NSA or it's not? I don't know where. I don't see it anywhere.
NASA, not NSA.
I know. I'm looking and like I don't see it.
I found it. Look.
Oh, it's in a different repository. Okay.
Yeah, I said the NASA software verification and validation.
Ooh. This looks freaking awesome. I'm gonna run it. So.
Abstract interpretation. That's it. I was trying.
This is like a super like static analyzer on fucking steroids with like injected LSD into its brain.
Yep. I was talking to some guys about it. It can detect buffer overflows. It can detect all sorts of stuff. Yeah, heap overflows. It's can do bounds checking, all sorts.
Well, you know, things that a static analyzer can do, yes, but like also do a lot more cool things like actually finding things that are obscure.
I just found a good article, and I've completely lost it.
Oof. Oh, my neck hurts.
Posted in podcast. ICOS. All right.
This is very nice. I want.
Oh yeah, about Nvidia. Since Mike's not here, I thought I was going to take the reins on that, and I can't see it with my eyes. Okay, there we go.
If you say the N word 3 times, it'll summon him.
Nvidia. Nah, I don't really need him around. All right.
You have to say it into a mirror.
Oh well, I hate looking at myself. You look at the mirror, it cracks, and you got like glass to bring it clean up. It's no fun. So the article says, after losing half its value, Nvidia faces reckoning. Very doomsday for it. But I thought Nvidia was doing pretty good. I mean, they got the Switch console, and then they got
Nvidia Perfect Storm.
a lot of like IoT and vision processing stuff going on. There's a lot of supercomputing.
Are they still doing Tegra?
I think so.
Yeah, because I know that they were doing that. They were like trying to like break into the ARM market. Then again, isn't the Switch? Yeah, no, the Switch is ARM, so yeah, it would be running on Tegra then.
Yeah, well, there's the chipset, but they also have the Jetson, which is actually competing with the ARM single board computers and development boards.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm. It's not cheap though. It's about $500 development board. Though, if you know their marketing department, you can twist their arms, and get them for less. But it's cool. It's like a credit card size, and you can put it into like a motherboard that expands it with all the ports and stuff. But I guess Nvidia over the past 2 months, its stock has dropped from about almost $300 down to $150. So that's almost
48%. This sounds like
loss.
Bitcoin.
Well, you know, it's not the Vega that did it to it. It's RTX, the 2080, right? Their 2000 lines must be flopping.
Oh yeah, the ray tracing.
Yeah, there's probably just not enough software.
They dumped all their marketing into ray tracing and making like that a very recognizable feature. Then charging the most money they've ever charged for any kind of new GPU series. Like the least expensive version of their new GPU line is the most expensive they've ever had. Usually you'd expect, this kind of stuff to go down in price every year, but it's because of the whole ray tracing marketing. Then, of course, the lackluster performance and the, I don't want to say corroboration, rather.
Oh, you cut off again, so it's hard to tell if you're done talking or not. You guys there? Ooh, spooky. Well, reading the article a bit, it's talking about you guys there? No. Gonna try a couple other things. Oh, I got kicked off. It says authenticating. You guys there? Oh, that doesn't work.
Hold on, let's see if I can do this live on stream.
Do deaf people hear an inner voice?
Sorry, we got disconnected. I'm just reconnecting now.
No,
you're
talking about NPCs.
Can deaf people see?
Yeah, sure. Why not?
Do deaf people hear an inner voice?
Monty says he doesn't trust Nvidia.
No one does. Don't worry about it.
How do you say it, Dilly? Is it you say Nvidia?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I know. Describing how something tastes to a blind.
Yeah. How would they? Yeah.
This tastes really good.
Yeah.
That'd be fun. Or, yeah. I don't know.
Cryptocurrency's been good to Nvidia, as it talks about. But they've been
They got really good
now.
GPUs for computer. Oh god, that did not come out.
You want to try saying that again?
Yeah, okay. Sure. They have good GPUs for compute.
Yeah, they have the best for like machine learning as far as I know.
Well, that's because they tie to CUDA, and CUDA is really nice.
Geopolitical tensions are also causing harm. Anyways, I think that's enough of NVIDIA bashing.
Yeah, what was the? I still remember that conference where that guy was up on stage, the Asian fella, and he was just like, he kept saying like something about like this is the future. Sorry, the future is now, something like that. And he kept pointing at the screen, and nothing was happening. And he kept saying it in a more aggressively angry tone, as if to try and say, "Listen, you fucking intern, show the picture."
Let's see.
Visual Studio Code 1.3 released. There you go.
What did
That's
they do
news
this
we
time?
can
I
use.
love bloatware.
I love that I'm uploading an image to make our chat even worse quality, so that Wab can figure out where we are in Discord.
We're like over there.
Yeah, the stream is lagging every few seconds because oh shit, we've gone offline.
Uh-oh.
Yes, streams. Oh, it's back. So the stream keeps cutting out. I think it's Adeli's crap internet.
Yeah, probably.
Totally my crap internet, but you know, we're doing the best we can here.
We should, Mr. Internet Man, we should get a Jeff to host, to be honest.
No! I do not consent.
You know, on Google knowing your IP?
No, it's just that I don't want to have to open up fucking VS Code while I'm like browsing manga SH.
What? That's nothing. We can use none of that for the podcast.
Yeah, we were talking about you hosting the stream, but all right.
Right, but like I have stuff on my screen that should not be on stream.
Well,
oh, I see.
My screen isn't on stream. I got my hentai women and my big titty anime women's over here, and my wife who's over there. And it's not on stream. It can be done, and we got our 7 layers of proxies between us and the.
I have 3 monitors. I just don't. I want all my 3 monitors to have titties on them.
You can set up OBS to use scenes though. You don't have to like show what's on your screen. Like I could host a stream.
That's hard though.
While I have pictures of my decapitated victims on my second monitor. I'm not showing them anything.
Is there something you want to be telling us here? Or?
No, don't worry about it. It's fine.
Don't worry about it, yeah.
All right, so Visual Studio Code. They got multi-line search improvements, custom title bar in Linux, references view, snippet comment variables,
snippety snappity
language. Okay, interesting. JavaScript, TypeScript callback display. Well, that might be helpful. JS doc markdown syntax highlighting, or JS doc markdown highlighting. Simplified debug configuration and run task on folder open. Choose extension version.
It doesn't seem to have anything interesting that I want.
Still no. Wab, what the fuck? Can he not see the podcast room? Sorry, I didn't mean to cut.
Don't worry about weaponized. He's special needs. He can't do anything. It's best to just leave him to his own devices. If you leave him for long enough, he might starve to death. One can hope. But so I'm in a sort of abusive relationship with VS Code, and that it keeps beating me up. I keep trying to use other tools, and I keep coming back to it because I like how easy it is to drag windows around inside of it and do all sorts of shit.
Right. How
it's got a very good Git integration. How you can actually see the commits per line. That sort of stuff.
And you can like do merge conflict resolution so trivially. It's oh my god, I love it.
But I'll have to start trying to use it more. I have a C IDE, so I gotta find a project to actually write in it.
Looking
at one thing that I don't like about VS Code is that it's a Electron app, and I don't like Electron apps. But
this one's actually a decent one.
It's one of like the 2 Electron apps that I use. Yeah, this and Discord. But they really need to, because I've noticed that each release it keeps getting slower though, and I really do think they need to move away from Electron eventually. Like they're going to need to rebase the entire software because it's not scalable.
Do you think you have a Google working on the Electron replacement, and how many at Microsoft? And then how many at Apple?
I mean, I think we're just going to come full circle, and we're going to go back to
native.
That thing that Microsoft used to have, where in which
WinForms.
It wasn't WinForms. It was like some browser like UI protocol. it used web browsers, but it was like a front end for native software or something.
Well,
Oh
they had
god, I
the
know what this is.
HTML Internet Explorer
ASP.
object. No, it's
Something
not
like that. I
scripting
know that
language.
it was something specific to Internet Explorer. I knew that.
Yeah, it was just their like COM object basically, or
Yeah,
OCX or
it
whatever you
was
want to call it.
something that never got used. Nobody used it. But I think we're just going to come full circle, and we're just going to end up having a native backend, and we're just going to use web browsers as our front end for our
That
software.
just sounds like everything I
Yes.
don't want ever. Just make it go away.
I want more native software, but at the same time, I don't think they're going to do it. I think because of the complexity of VS Code at this point, like I've checked the repository for it, I've seen the code. It's insane how big it is. They're never going to be able to port it. Like if they do, it's not going to be feature complete. Not for a few years anyway.
Well, they should just buckle down and do it.
They should, but I don't think they will, as long as they
I know.
can keep extending it.
Yeah.
Eventually, the user experience will get that bad that people will start complaining to the point where they'll have to, because they'll be losing.
Well, I mean,
users.
like, just buy a better computer.
Yeah, buy more RAM.
Download more RAM. No?
Yeah, most computers nowadays have 64 gigabytes of RAM. Why don't you have that yourself?
Right,
It's
exactly,
in the
right?
modern age. It's the current year.
Yeah, what crap are you doing if you don't got 64 gig of RAM to run VS Code and Discord and your web browser
in a single Chrome browser instance, which
and half of Slack
subprocesses. Yeah, and which comes in a Flatpak, which has all sorts of shit inside of it itself.
Oh my god, I hate Flatpak. Don't make me start on
that. I tried installing VS Code through Flatpak a while ago.
Flatpak is a vulnerability in your system that installs a set-UID binary if you're not updated all the way. It's literally a remote code execution. Not remote code execution. It's like it's just so insecure that it's not funny and it pisses me off. It's just bad. It's bad. It needs to fucking die.
And it's another one of Canonical's bright ideas.
No, it's Red Hat's.
Is it Red Hat?
Yes, Red Hat. That's why it's so horrible.
Oh Jesus! I actually had more. I didn't think that Red Hat would do that, because I think about Red Hat and I think sensible business decisions.
No. Red Hat made systemd. They made a Flatpaks. They made XDG standards.
RPM.
All that crap. RPM. They made all the worst stuff in Linux, and they still.
I disagree with XDJ.
And they
XDG,
make a distro.
XDG is fucking horrible. Please, no. I hate it. It's just bad.
And
bad.
All right, enlighten me. What's wrong about it?
They seem to figure out just, okay, there's this one convention that everyone's used. Fuck that. Let's make our own, but a shitty version of that. Just the entire thing is like that. And they call it a standard. But like there were standards before them that people followed.
Feeling I'm going to need to look into this then, because I don't quite understand what it is you're saying.
The XDG standard?
Yeah, there was no reason.
Yeah, so from what it sounds like, you just don't like the standard.
No, there were standards before. They just made shitty standards to replace the old standards that they didn't like.
All right.
Well, there's probably a reason why they didn't like it. Be here to hear their critique, but it's like, we had
they replaced shit with like gold encrusted shit that you have to pay. Not really pay for, but like it's just they replaced dog shit with like cow shit, and it's somehow not shit, but it's still shit. It's just like I would love to have a golden standard for Linux. I just don't want it to be fucking garbage. So that's all. And it's just Red Hat consistently fucks up everything they do. I just hate it.
Okay, well we're at the hour mark, so let's go ahead and wrap this up, guys. Any final thoughts?
Quack.
I think those quacks.
Quack. We got to get going. So we'll see you guys later. And Discord stop working.